I mean, Hasan slanders my driving capability. I am a good driver. But
It's
Unless hot men are
anti-Lebanese
around.
propaganda.
You are such a liar. What the fuck?
yeah.
Why are you
I'm a good
lying?
driver. I'm a good driver. I'm an excellent pilot. Better
You are a
pilot
great
than I'm a
pilot. That
driver.
is true. He cannot taxi the fucking plane for shit, though. The moment that wheels are on the ground, this motherfucker is literally incapable. He did this. He taxied the plane onto the fucking grass.
Yeah.
But you can't see hot guys from 30,000 feet.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
why.
He's just
true.
bad at driving because he's gay.
Very
He knows there's no potential of a hot man in sight.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Well, enough about me. Let's
All
get to
right.
the next
Yeah. Who's next?
Okay, the next person is. Oh shit, I forgot their name.
Wait,
Her
what the
name is
fuck is
Austin.
this? Austinox made an edit already? What the fuck? Come click this link for more detail on pussy. I'm so horny. Come click this link for more detail on pussy. I'm so horny. God damn it.
That's a good loop.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right.
That's too fast.
Who's our next victim?
Crime and
Sorry, my fucking Google Chrome is okay. Nar is our next victim.
Are you saying no?
You're on air.
Nor.
Australian?
Nar.
Nor.
Oh,
Wait,
Nar.
Rubs.
Nar, mate.
Hello, Nar.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing good, all of us. Well, I can't speak for all of us. Are we all doing good?
We are all doing
Yes,
good
doing
tonight.
Doing great.
All right.
Well, I guess should I just talk about what's going on?
Yeah,
Let's
tell
go.
us what's
All
going
right.
on.
All right. Well, basically, I'm gonna try my best to not sound like an a-hole here. Okay. So, basically, I'm dating this girl. I've been dating her for about 2 years now. But I think the issue is I'm having is that as of lately, I've just been I'm not into the relationship as much. I think I'm kind of, looking at other girls more often. I go out basically every weekend nowadays and stuff like that. And the girl is she's really sweet, she's really nice. I mean, she could be the mother of my children. I'd probably be like, cool, awesome. But I think I think it stems from that I had a relationship before her, right before her. It lasted about 3 years, 4 years. And then she cheated on me.
Oh.
And so now I'm basically I think I'm kind of scared of the commitment. But at the same time though, I also don't want to just I don't want to keep dating someone for it to just end like that again. And so it's kind of do I break it off with this person even though she's a great person, but it's not fair to them to kind of be also looking at other people all the time and
In what way are you looking at other people? You want to sleep with other people? You want to date other people?
sleep with other people because I mean I dated that person for 3-4 years and then it was probably 5-6 months and then I got into this relationship. And for context, I'm 23. I'm 23.
Have you had that? So you've been in relationships from your young adult life pretty much the entire time.
Exactly, yeah. When I was in college, there was maybe a couple months of just messing around and that was it.
Okay, and you definitely want to sleep with other people. Be honest with me.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Or nor.
Nor, I'm going to be honest with you. You are 23 years old. You've been in relationships from the time you were very young, and you haven't had the opportunity to explore, and you owe it to yourself to do that. And this is the time. I'm telling you, this is the time of your life to go do that. Breakups are never easy, but this is the time to go explore and do that for yourself.
That's great. That is great advice, Austin. That's incredible
Thank you.
advice.
I mean, if that
Thank you,
itch is
Hasan.
there, it's not going to go away. If you regret 5 years from now that you never got to explore, you could end up resenting her for that, which isn't fair to her either.
But then it's also a 50-50 because I also don't want to because the other thing is that being single is hard. I think a lot of times it's a lot easier to look at single people and be that's probably the life. You can go sleep around with whoever you want. You don't have to worry about anything. But then at the same time, though, it's also nice to have someone.
The fear that you might not have a committed relationship should not deter you or lock you into a relationship that you're currently in when you're very obviously looking around, especially because like you're going to start developing significantly more resentment towards your partner, because whether you recognize it or not, internally you are going to associate them as the anchor that's holding you back from experiencing all of these different things, which will ultimately lead to you doing what has happened to you, right? Because you said you were cheated on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it seems like you even recognize that you certainly have not recovered from that. Like, and you got into a relationship without even recovering from that, and doing something that is so damaging that happened to you to another person would be not something that you're interested in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So staying in a relationship out of fear is the worst reason as to why you would stay in a relationship. Fear that like you might not be able to find a partner as wonderful as the one you currently have is not a good enough reason to stay in a relationship. You need to take some time and work on yourself, or even if you are in a relationship, you need to still take some time in the relationship to work on yourself. How long have you guys been dating again? Sorry, you mentioned this.
2 years.
You've been dating this person for 2 years. When did you start thinking about other women?
Probably a year and a half ago.
Oh my God! So 6 months in.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, basically.
You've
yeah.
been thinking about other women for a year and a half?
That's the honeymoon phase. Is 6 months.
God
in.
damn.
Look, man.
Yeah. I think it's tough, but I think you gotta rip that Band-Aid, brother.
And also, don't think of it as like just purely sexual. Like you mentioned, oh well, like don't think about that part. There must be something else deeper, right? That makes it so you don't want to be with this person, right? It may be something else. So don't think about it as just purely sexual.
Someone in the chat also correctly pointed out it seems like a Rona relationship too.
Yeah, it was. So like that's the thing. Like every time, like everything, like for the last basically that first year was basically just me and them hanging out all the time together, like nonstop.
Yeah,
So it's hard because like I also don't want to hurt
during
that
Rona,
person.
you didn't have a lot of options. You couldn't fuck around.
Yeah.
And then once that was unshackled, when everywhere opened up a little bit, now you have like literally the opportunity to do such things. So your eye is wandering. It seems like that's not. It doesn't seem like it's healthy. It seems like the longer you stay in this relationship, the more you hurt this person.
I think you identified the issue when you said that being single is hard. It's the fear that Hasan mentions. I think if it was a Rona relationship and you got into it because potentially you were afraid of being single, it was a lot easier to be together with someone at that time when everyone was quarantining. I think that you really should identify that part of you that is afraid of being single and what that means. What feelings arise when you think about being single? Is it loneliness? What is it about you being alone as an individual person is scary to you?
Well, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, I think the thing is like I like relationships. Like I don't know, like obviously I'm pretty sure everybody does, but like you get a person to hang out with all the time, right, and stuff like that. But then I don't know, like when you're single, there's a lot of times where you're just going to be sitting there by yourself, and I think that makes me scared to just kind of be by myself. Like I have friends, obviously, but like
what is it about being alone that causes you to have that fear? Is it your own thoughts? Is it like what are the feelings that you feel when you think about, oh, I'm just alone and I don't have any relationship to go to?
Yeah, I mean, it's like depressing. It's just, if everybody's busy around me, like usually there's always like one person that's going to be like that person in that relationship's usually always going to be there to talk and stuff like that.
It feels like
they're not there.
The relationships are here in your life to fill a void that you feel when you are alone.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a good point.
You're nailing it. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I mean, you're spitting.
Yeah,
You need to. I mean, you're young, so you're gonna grow out of this 100%. So it doesn't matter. But But one way to grow out of it is by becoming not so codependent. One way to grow out of this is by, spending time with yourself and also working on yourself. That is like one of the best parts about being single is that you have so much time to yourself to invest in yourself to ultimately, become a better person.
I would challenge you to challenge yourself to take a weekend where you don't see your partner and this is literally just your time to identify the feelings that you're feeling that come up when you like, why do you feel the need to be with someone? Why do you feel the need to break that time of being alone and really kind of get down to the bottom of that? And I think that's the source of your issue here, because if you were totally fine being single, there is a chance that at the 6-month mark, when you started looking at other people, you would be able to identify, this relationship, I thought that it was something I wanted, but it's not. And it sounds like you stayed in it for, 4 times longer than you may have because you have that fear of being alone.
And here's the other part, okay? Even if you're a selfish person, I'll give you why you should do this as a selfish person. Like, even if you don't value their time, right? And you're like filling a void, basically, right? With this other person. You have to remember, like, there is a better person out there for you that will actually captivate you, that you 100% will not have to just use as a security blanket like you are currently. And you're kind of cucking yourself from finding that person that you would want to be with. That you would truly want to be with in a healthy relationship that is based in, mutual respect, like a real partnership. Because right now, what you have doesn't seem like it.
That's a fair point.
And
Yeah,
she deserves someone that really wants to be with her.
Yeah, but we're misogynist.
Yeah. That's
This is why
that's
you
like,
brought me, right?
yeah. I mean, like, that's why, like, I'm like, yeah, like, that's my thing. Like, I think that she does deserve better. And that's why it's hard because you don't want to hurt that person. Like, I don't want to hurt them and make them like sad.
But you're hurting them by staying with them if you don't really want to be with them and if you're looking at other people.
And the hurt that they will feel is only exponentially worse the longer it goes on.
Yeah.
Every moment that you spend with this person, you are contributing more to the inevitable downfall. Like, it's gonna be worse overall for them.
Also, short-term, welcoming short-term discomfort is a way for you to avoid long-term suffering throughout your life. So welcome this uncomfortable feeling so you don't have to deal with this bigger feeling later. I think 23 is a great time to start to get down to the bottom of this.
Oh yeah.
It's ahead of
Great
schedule.
time.
Yeah, and like Mykie said, ahead of schedule, a lot earlier than a lot of people do. So I think it's great that you're in this mindset, wanting to call in for advice, wanting to figure this stuff out, wanting to figure yourself out. Huge props.
Fair enough. All right. Well, thank you for the advice. I think that was great.
Hope you figured
sure.
out Nar.
Nar.
No.
Dope.
All right, now.
All right, ciao, Nar.
I'll see you guys.
Ciao,
Yep.
Nar.
Bye.
All right, there's 3 people left. I'm gonna tell them to be concise
Okay.
with
All
it.
right.
Anthony
Okay,
is so
next
wise. Yeah, he's
person.
34. That's why.
That's right.
He's got age and
I
wisdom.
have an illusion right
He's got
here.
wisdom that comes with age.
That's right, man.
You have a lot of gall calling somebody old.
You know what, Morgan? You're getting older too. Okay.
I'm only 25.
Yeah.
I'm young.
A little baby.
I'm young.
Yes.
Okay, the next person is Squid.
Squid.
Name's Torin, he, him.
I like the name Squid.
Whoa.
Let's go, Squid. Or Torin?
You're still muted.
Yeah.
What's good, Chad?
Oh, hello.
Hey, Squid, what's going on?
Not much. Came for advice, obviously. So, I'm just gonna start because I'm anxious as hell sitting right here. So I'm
Let's
just
do
gonna
it.
Be
Pop
nervous.
off, King.
So, I have a neighbor, right? So she is like a longtime friend, and we've been like growing up together for like as long as I remember, childhood friends and all that. And so we hang out a bunch in the neighborhood and stuff. So one day she invites us to hang out at her house, and I'm hanging out there, and she has this other group of friends, and I met this girl she's friends with through her, and so last time we hung out like this, I got her number, but nothing really came of it. We just kind of like texted back and forth, but like we just like kind of like there's always some tension there, you know what I mean? And so I never really pursued anything, but this time we get together and we're hanging out, we're having a good time, and things start to escalate because we're kind of drinking and stuff. So next thing you know, we we're in like the pool together by ourselves. Everyone else is out of the pool. We're just hanging out, just talking and stuff, and we start like macking on each other, to say the least. And
Making out.
yeah, buddy. And
All right.
Nice.
and I was so down with it. It was pretty cool. It was pretty
Nice.
cool because like this is my first time since like I got over a bad breakup, like not a bad break, but like over a breakup like a year ago,
Get
and
your
like it's my
meth
first
on.
time kind of like getting on with somebody, and I was like, all right, word. And so the night ends, whatever. It was a fun time. And this girl, and the next day, my neighbor texts me. She goes, "Were you kissing on so and so?" And I was like, "Yeah," because I was like, at the time, I didn't see a problem with it. I was like, "Yeah, whatever." It was awesome. I didn't feel the need to lie about it. And she was like, pissed. She was like calling me a slut, and like, I was like, "Damn." And but yeah, so she basically like we haven't talked since, and I was like, it kind of seemed shitty for her to be mad at me because like this is my first time balling out and everything, so like I'm just kind of having a good time with it.
Hell yeah, King.
old-
Ball out. What the fuck?
Yeah, no. What? She called you a slut for kissing
Her
somebody? You're
friend,
not even-
yeah.
Not the slut
She was like,
shaming.
she said she was like, you're like a brother to me, so it's like weird to see you like with my friend. And I was like, I understand that, but
I think
More
I
like
think she meant
somebody-
brother in the
somebody-
Alabama sense though, because it
Yeah.
seems like there's a little bit more
Oh.
resentment.
Also, I thought
I
you
think
said you
she
were
wanted-
alone. Like, how did she see you? How did she know? It's not like you were trying to rub it in her face, right?
I don't know. Okay, that's a good. Yeah, I don't. They kind of just
Her
picked up on
friend
it.
told her, I think, probably.
No, because I told her, and then she told the girl I was like. I don't know how they found out. They kind of just knew, and throughout the night, I kind of knew they knew, because like we weren't like in front of all of them, and like just on top of each other. It was like away from everybody.
Look,
And-
this is an open and shut case. You weren't in the wrong. You did nothing wrong. She's in the wrong for calling you a slut or even having a problem with this situation whatsoever. She doesn't own you. She doesn't have any right to tell you who you cannot have relationships with. It's not your problem that she has a problem with it, okay? And don't go crying to her or like asking for forgiveness because you don't need any forgiveness. She should be apologizing to you for how she acted. Period.
Damn.
It's over. Continue your macking.
Damn,
Yeah, buddy.
Austin.
Go.
Let's go.
Continue.
But yeah, so I was gonna wrap it up just by saying like, yeah, because this is sort of just a summer thing, because we're gonna go back to college in like a month, and it's none of it's gonna even matter at that point, because like we've been like hanging out and stuff everything since then, and I haven't talking to my neighbor, and I was just like, should I just like try to make things better with my friend? Like, 'cause, like she's a lifelong friend. And I was like, should I even try, or should I just be like, I'm gonna ride out this summer fling because
No, write it out, King.
No, write out the
Bro, I'm
summer fling, and then because you're not in the wrong, she's in the wrong. Like she needs to fucking figure out her own complicated situation.
And why she wants
Yeah,
to
'cause it's
control
like-
what you're doing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because it's like we're not like, it's not like at the party there was like any of my exes there, or like I have any previous altercations with any of these people who are at this, or especially her.
Yeah.
So it felt dumb.
Also,
It is dumb.
she likes you. She clearly likes you. That's why
Yeah.
she's reacting this
Yeah,
way.
it's slut boy summer. You should have sex with her too. Ball out.
That'll solve it.
Ball out.
All out.
Have you gotten any vibes before that she would not be cool with that, or like did she ever say anything outright about that, or anything, any kind of
I
indication?
mean, like, because like we've been friends for a long time, so I've hung out with these friends before, and like we've made I've made jokes about like, and like she's always seemed icky about it. She's like, ew, like that's Torn. You don't talk like about him that way, and it's like stuff like that.
She wants you to be a step bro.
I think she's a little. I'm gonna be honest. Like she comes across a little like emotionally stunted. Like she's not. Like I think she just can't.
Seems like she doesn't want your attention taken away.
Yeah.
You just think, yeah, like she was like, this won't happen, and then it happened, and then she was like, what the fuck?
I
Yeah,
don't know how good
you
of
were
a
the
friend that is.
nerdy kid next door, and then you took your glasses off, and you became a hot piece of ass. And now she's like, "What the fuck?"
Squid, the hot piece of ass.
Yeah, no, you got this. You know,
You think?
I think
Yeah,
she's
hot
into
boy
you.
summer, bro.
I think she is into you for sure. She probably knows
See,
that
I
you're
don't-
you're a Hasanabi head, and immediately was like, "Damn, those guys are hard to come by.
no-
They're kings."
You
Yeah.
rep the pro necklace. They know.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds possessive in some way, a little bit.
Yeah, no,
What?
it is completely inappropriate of her to have any kind of resentment towards what you're doing, and the way you're conducting
respect
yourself seems perfectly reasonable. I would go so far as to even like make sure that she doesn't try to spoil what your summer thing is with this other girl.
Yeah.
And you know, ball the fuck out. You're killing it.
Amen.
Go Squid.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate that.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
I guess that's all.
All
Peace
right.
out.
Thanx.
That's good.
Peace and love. Ciao.
Peace out,
Oh
ciao.
god, you
That's
got
right.
everybody saying ciao now. Oh my god.
Right, it's the new thing. Man, I can't believe like, he got called a slut for making out with somebody in a hot tub. I'm a whore if that's the case.
I mean,
Wait, is that like a step up from like is
I don't know.
I believe it's hussy.
Yeah,
Oh.
you're a harlot.
Hussy.
You're a harlot. That's what you are. You're a lip hungry harlot.
yeah okay yeah I'm lip hungry.
I don't know. Do you want to get some Chadvice?
Yeah,
There's
I think you need to
you
submit.
guys keep trying to lure me into it.
Yeah.
By the end of this, we will.
This man is a born interviewer, dude. You don't understand. He's already conducting it. You don't even know.
I'm already writing the questions
You're
in my
you're,
head.
you're revealing things about yourself right now. Like
This is the
interview's
pre-interview,
on. Yeah.
Austin.
Oh, is it? Oh shit! I had no idea.
Yeah, you didn't see it, but he fell from the roof originally when
spent it
when
with
he.
the Austin
That's
show.
how he entered.
Yeah.
You
missed it.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Crazy. I have a hole in my roof now, but you know.
You can afford it. Don't worry about it.
I'd be willing. She said if I tried on this chair, I'd break my neck. And yeah, it's a risk I'm willing to take for Austin.
Oh.
All right. Who's up
All right.
next?
2 people left, and then we're done. Okay, this next person, her name is Noor. She, her.
Not Nar.
Not
Nor.
Nor, but Nor.
Noor.
Gotcha.
Nor.
Noor, you're on air.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure my mic was working fine.
Oh, this one is actually a Nor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or Nor.
Yes. This is Noor. So the thing that I wanted to mention, it's a really complicated long thing. I'll try to like squeeze it in as much as I can. I am from a South Asian country. And I'm an eldest in an immigrant family. I worked my family to come over here. Currently living in Canada. All that stuff, and I've taken responsibility. I moved here like 3 years ago. I'm already like working towards paying off mortgage, all that stuff. But the thing is, I've realized that a lot of things I've done are because of my family. And when I was about 20, like before I moved to Canada, my parents kind of like not lured me in, but like they kind of told me that I needed to get married and all that stuff, and I did. But this person I was seeing for over, I guess, 9 years. But it's also like a South Asian seeing this person, so it's really not like you're in a relationship.
Oh god. Okay,
it's
wait,
more
watch out
like-
with
yeah,
the
it's more-
additional sounds. Sorry. I just turned you up a lot because you're speaking quietly, so make sure Okay.
Hello?
Oh,
Is it
oh,
any better?
oh, okay,
Oh,
I'm going to
yeah.
lower your audio.
It will
It's
be.
much better. It's much better now.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello?
Oh my god.
No, you can keep it at the previous level. You're good.
Okay. Can you let me know where like I cut off or
No, this is good. This is great. Just Okay.
Right. So I've been seeing this person for over like 9 years, kind of, and it's kind of like a South Asian seeing where they're like, oh, they're interested in each other kind of thing. Before I moved in 2018, I got married. And it has not worked out. So this person is still not in Canada. They're living back home, so it's like a long distance relationship. I want to get a divorce. And I'm trying to bring it up to my parents. I am 24, and I'm married for 4 years, and I was 20 when I got married. So I'm trying to bring this up to my parents. I don't, and I just don't know how to do this. I have constantly, like every time I bring something up that I want to do, I notice that I worry for my parents' health. I am like, oh, I need to keep them happy. I have a lot of people that I love genuinely back home, but I know if I pull through this, I'll probably be kicked out of the family, or like they would talk to me for very, very long time. And I also care for this person because I've known them for 9 years. However, they are very controlling. They are also like, they've always disrespected my boundaries, and I never recognized it until like I moved here and they started like thinking I was cheating on them while I'm working to become a doctor. Every time I'm not available, they're like, oh, are you seeing someone in your, like, in Canada, like all that sorts of stuff. I've also recognized that a lot of things that we think of do not match. His comments about younger girls wearing revealing clothes and being like, oh, that's so shitty, that shouldn't be like that. These sorts of comments really like get to me, and I also don't like kids, but I'm a little bit more, I guess, like open-minded in comparison to like what back home in South Asia people think. I just don't know how to deal with him and my family, and also be able to stand up for myself when I'm doing everything that my family tells me to do.
Yeah, that is. Do you have a support system outside of your family?
I've moved to Canada alone with my, like, by alone I mean just my family. I do not have any support system. After moving to Canada, like COVID hit and I wasn't able to make a lot of friends. And then like my partner, he was very controlling in a lot of things where I don't even talk to a lot of family back home, because every time I would be free from work and school, he would be like, oh, if you're free, why are you not calling me? Like, it's hard to explain to someone living back home how busy it can get. Like, I'm working full time, I'm a student full time, I haven't taken any student loans or anything, and I'm paying everything off, but now I also own a house, and it's just too much for this person to continuously come and ruin my mental health.
Yeah, it seems like you already arrived at the conclusion that like ridding this person's influence from your life is the positive and smart and healthy thing to do, which I recognize. I think you're right about that. Your instincts are correct on that for sure. And now it seems more like you need either a support system or the confidence to be able to do so. But while you're doing that, you need to also do it in a way where your like family is going to be understanding. I don't know. Like I hate to say this, but I don't know if that will happen with respect to. I don't know exactly where you're. I mean, I don't know what country you're from, but I do understand how, at least some families are like, and I don't know if they will be supportive with your decision in that situation, and that's something that you got to almost brace for, and that's why the first thing I asked was if you have a support system outside of your family, but ultimately that liberation will absolutely make you feel significantly better in the long run. And through time, because time does heal all wounds, through time, your family and yourself, if in the worst case circumstance, I'm saying if your family's like, oh, we disapprove of this, how dare you do this, after some time has passed, I'm sure they would be a little bit more understanding, because they don't want to lose their little girl, you know what I mean? And you're 24 years old. I mean, that's just
so young.
way too young. Like you should not be shackled in this circumstance for the rest of your life. 6 years down the line, those complications will be so much worse, especially when you have a good head on your shoulder. and you know what the positive thing to do here for yourself is. So sometimes you got to make these tough decisions for yourself. And it is definitely better to do it now before it becomes harder to do so. It seems like it was a blessing for you to be able to come to Canada and be able to even recognize these sorts of things about the circumstances that you were put in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I think it's really, really hard in a situation where, like, for the entirety of my life, like, my parents have relied on me so much on everything. They have seen me have extreme mental breakdowns once or twice. And I did bring up the idea of, like, not liking this person and also not wanting to hurt them, because the more I stay, it's worse, right? I brought it up to my mother once, and to my surprise, the answer was like, "How can you be happy after ruining this person who's so in love with you's life? Like, don't think of that." And like, it kind of like hurt me thinking that my own family would think that way. But ultimately, I also understand from being like traditionally Muslim and also being from South Asian country, kind of has like a cultural impact on it.
no, absolutely.
But it's like,
no, I completely understand where you're coming from. Yeah, I think like your parents in that situation are absolutely trying to keep you in this marriage, in this relationship. I assume the families are tied to one another as well at this point, right? Like your parents and
they are very. I'm actually very close to his family.
yeah. So
Yeah, like they're like family friends, very close. There's also a past history with their family where somebody else in our family kind of left one of their family members previously. So the reason why I agreed to the relationship is I thought, like I was 16 when I got engaged. It's too young, please. I know. And like the reason why I agreed was I was like, oh, we're gonna bond these two families that were so close again, and I'll help it. And now I'm just like, what the fuck?
it's not up
were
to you.
thinking?
No, that's not your responsibility to do that. No, that is entirely too much to be placed upon the shoulders of a 16-year-old, especially. Like I understand the cultural restrictions in this situation, but 100%, that's you need to work on trying to develop a support system. I'm certain there are, you're at school still, so that's like a really good avenue for you to immediately find something like that. I'm sure there are, student unions and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like student groups that you can join. There are certainly, other like-minded students who are also living in Canada with similar opinions, maybe even going through similar struggles as well. They will absolutely help you out in this. But I definitely do think that, establishing a support system immediately and working on steps of like easing your family into it without like letting them in on it too much, because they might just like inform the family, you know what I mean? Worst case scenario. And then boom, all of a sudden, if there is even a capability of it, I don't know if he's even allowed to, if he can easily come to Canada, but like he might just show up, you know what I mean?
That's a bigger problem right now.
Yeah.
My mother has helped me in a lot of circumstances when we do have like arguments and stuff. But the problem that recently has caused me to be more like this has been his paperworks are getting kind of like in the process, and it has caused me an extreme panic of thinking that he could come here.
No,
and,
that's not
like,
healthy. You got to get out of that 100%. Like the fact that you are scared that he's going to be able to come to Canada is an indication that you got to get out as quickly as you can. And 100%, one thing you should do is in order to soften the blow for yourself, recognize that like there might be a period of time when your family might not be there to help you, there to support you, and that's something that you gotta ready yourself for. It sucks to hear it, but it is the reality. And just like I said, join some student organizations and stuff, and like meet people. You will find like-minded individuals as well. You're like the bright side of this is, one, you're separated right now. there's a physical barrier, right? So that's good. It could be much worse, right? 2, you are in school, so you could establish relationships with other people. So you have like someone to rely on, all other circumstances considered, right? So make the most of the situation that you're in currently, and definitely, you can get through this 100%. But it will be better for you in the long run to not be trapped in the situation that you're in.
Right. And also, like, in future, if there are any like kids and stuff, I don't want to bring anyone into this issue where you don't like a person and you're in a relationship with them. Being having like there are 3 of you, like 3 guys, and I was wondering, like, how do you think I should approach him in this situation? I've known this person for 9 years. It's just that we're not compatible. His behavior, he's been very apologetic recently because I think he recognizes that I'm no longer going to stay in the relationship. I don't know how to bring this up to him and be like, I'm done with this.
What is your guys' dynamic right now?
I won't hurt him.
Like, can you be completely
what do you mean,
transparent
like-
with most other things? Can you communicate well otherwise?
I think that has been the bigger issue about communication. I was depressed for a very long time, moving here, taking the responsibility of like never working before and now like running a whole house and everything. I was depressed, and I've had him say this to me, like, why are you always upset, or why are you always sad? So over the 4 years of me moving here, I feel like our communication has gotten so much worse, and I would put boundaries and they would be broken consistently. Like, I would keep saying no to something and he'll be like, come on, let's try this thing, let's do this thing.
Do you think that he's
And
aggressive?
at a point, he's not aggressive, but he is kind of like a spoiled youngest child in his household where he gets away or gets everything he needs. Like, he's not physically or like verbally aggressive, but he has his way of like continuously not giving up on something and like bugging you continuously about something. It's most of these like things would be very personal if I tried giving an example, but I guess like when I was back home, there's an example of that where we went out with our families, and it's a very like physically keep a distance kind of relationship at that time when you're like just recently getting engaged and all that. And I told him specifically to not like do certain things when I'm with my family, at least when my dad's around here. So we could talk and we could hang out together, but not around my family. When my dad's there, he's gonna be upset, or like it's just disrespectful in our culture. And he still did it, and I said it multiple times, and then it was definitely brought up to me later, where everyone was like, "What the fuck were you guys doing?"
So he's likely
And
to
I
be
was like,
disrespectful to your
Boundaries. And like your demands. I'm telling you, I don't think communicating with him is the priority here. Like, I think you being in a legally sound situation and ensuring that you are protected legally, and there are literal like resources that, especially in places like Canada, there are legal resources that you can take advantage of for free. I'm sure your school has something to help as well. I'm telling you, you should not be prioritizing how he will take it, and he might be actually, at this stage, he's maybe recognizing for the first time anything but himself, and seeing that like he might lose you, and that's the reason why he's being apologetic. But the underlying problems have existed since the beginning of the relationship, and I think that is precisely the reason why it's not going to go away, no matter what kind of nice things he says in the meantime, to be able to position himself better and make you trust him once again, only to betray your trust down the line in a position where he's like already in your space. So right now you have the advantage, and I think that using that advantage would be using that to your advantage, and taking advantage of the situation that you're in currently is the smart thing to do. And I would work on it expediently if I were you. And and go to like I'm sure there's like a women's council center in your school. Like there are people that you can rely on in the situation that are professional. What's up?
I was like, I'm a part of like the women's council in the university. I'm a part of the student union in my university. It's so stupid how like I'm part of all these like movements and everything, and I'm doing all these things, and then in my own relationship, everything is just, I feel powerless in it, and I hate it.
I mean, that's
But you're
more
right,
that is more common than you would think. That's not, you're not alone in that. Trust me. So that's not. It's not stupid. That's you've been dealt really unfortunate circumstances that are completely outside of your control. You didn't choose this. You know what I mean? You were 16. So don't blame yourself even for a second. But that's great. That means that you have access to all these resources already. So you should, open up to your friends there and make friends and open up to the people that are there so you can, take advantage of all of that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for talking to me. I'll definitely like bring it up. I know I have access to these things, but the idea of like hurting him or my parents just kind of always holds me back. But I think like at this point I should be prioritizing
100%. You should be
future.
prioritizing yourself, especially because remember, it's hard for us to recognize that our parents are not these like, godlike deities in our lives, especially because, when you're a child, you see your parents a certain way, but they're also flawed. They can also have, backwards conservative ideas, and they oftentimes do, as a matter of fact. And, they can be selfish. They can prioritize the relationship with this family, especially if it's a wealthy family, over the shitty condition that you are going to force yourself into. They can also be operating this way out of fear for what might happen to you. Like, oh, what is she gonna do? Like, oh, if she's divorced, she's ruined. You know what I mean? Like, they might have like antiquated ideas.
So stupid.
Yeah, exactly. So do not prioritize their feelings. You are completely valid.
I think the sooner that you have a support system, a strong support system, the sooner that you'll be able to, act with the feelings that you're feeling are kind of bottled up right now. You'll be able to see it more clearly.
Absolutely. Great. I wouldn't want to hold you guys more. Thank you so much. And for the community as well, people are reaching out. So it's wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm hoping that next